I cannot believe this. I just got another raffle win, but they sent me a thing and like in big red letters it's saying make sure you got money in your account. If you don't have money in your account, like that's classified as a loss and it'll be redrawn and all this. And I'll go check my account and I've had like 2 direct debits come out like for bills and shit, right? So I think I needed $230 for the shoes and I had like 200 in my account left. I'm ringing, I'm messaging supply, I'm commenting on their shit, I'm trying to ring them, I'm getting no answer whatsoever, and I'm like, oh, come on, what the fuck? And this is a shoe that I've wanted for so long. I mentioned in previous videos that I wanted this. I've missed out on like fucking 6 raffles or something, and the way the email is presented to you from supply in big red letters down the bottom, it basically seemed to me like it was saying that, you know, you were drawn but there was not enough money in your account, so it's done. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm like ringing them and it's just going straight through, because I reckon there's a bunch of people trying to do the same thing. You know, they haven't realised the event, because we go into raffles, we don't actually think we're gonna win, right? Anyway, so I'm like commenting on there going, hey look, I had a direct debit, blah blah blah. I'm messaging him, can you please just do it again? Like, no one answers, no one nothing. I transfer money straight away when I seen the email, but like I'm refreshing on the app to see if they're taking the money in, like for like an hour, right? It seemed like an hour. I feel like it was an hour. It may have been a little bit less than that, and I'm like, I've lost all hope. I'm like, I can't believe I fucked this up. This is gonna make really interesting content though. You know, Sneaker Fails 3 coming soon. And then I checked and I'm like, I've seen the money taken out. I'm like, holy fuck. I couldn't believe it, because I've heard of this happening. You see this all the time where like people won and, you know, they didn't have enough money in their account or they didn't make sure or whatever. I see this all the time and they've lost. And it even says within their terms and conditions, if there's no money in your account when you draw on, then that's it. But at least with supply, who I've won this raffle from that we're about to check out, there's a little bit of time period where you can quickly transfer money into that everyday account. So what we're going to do right now is go to the old set. If you've been watching from the start, we used to do this in a different sort of location. We're gonna go there. You know what the fuck it is. If you can't see already, you know what the fuck it is. YouTube's gonna completely bury this video, but I don't care. Some Wu-Tang shit right here. If you haven't guessed already, I got another raffle win. If I'm being honest, this is like my 3rd raffle win in a row. It's like Air Jordan 1 KOs, then, well, there were 2, then this one, and then I had another one which will be the next video. But I'm a massive Wu-Tang fan. I don't know if you can tell, all the records and everything. It actually started out with this joint right here, which is the W, and I bought this off someone for like 10 bucks, right? Because I'd always heard about Wu-Tang, all this, and when I heard it, I gotta admit, like, I wasn't super impressed by it. I'll be honest, man, when I was younger, I was all about the West Side when it came to hip hop. Tupac, Dre, Snoop, Exhibit, Ice Cube. So much so that, you know, that West Coast versus East Coast beef, it was well and truly over when I was hearing like these records. That's just how music was back in the day. Like, you'd hear an album that's been out for 10 years and it'd be brand new to you and that's your favorite album. It's not of the second like it is now. And then say like years later I found like East Coast stuff like Wu-Tang, like Rakim, like Nas and that sort of thing. And initially when I heard Wu-Tang was like Gravel Pit was cool, something in the bump with bump with pump. You know, them joints were cool, but they weren't to the point where I could see where a couple of my mates were huge Wu-Tang fans, right? And I couldn't see it. But when I heard that Protect Your Neck, from the opening line from Inspector Deck, I smoke on the mic like smoking Joe Frazier, the Hellraiser, raising hell with the flavor. Instantly hooked. I was already a fan of Method Man on his solo shit, but I just needed to hear that. The whole thing. And watching the of Men and Mike's documentary and now like the dramatization in the TV show, they did the impossible. Like, this logo is so recognizable, and one of the things they're like, oh, we want something like Batman logo, and it kind of is. Like, it is that recognizable to where like even people may not know a Wu-Tang song, but they know that logo, and that's why I got it tattooed on my wrist. You know, it is sort of guys at the Opera House, like seen Ray live. Huge Wu-Tang fan. I mean, like, I even got the PS1 game. We got the old dirty bastard 7-inch license plate or food stamp card record. You know what I mean? That's super rare. I can go on for days with albums, you know. I just went for a quick look. To do up the display. I mean, actually, to be fair, we got books. Huge Wu-Tang fan, but this is a sneaker YouTube channel, so I better show you some sneakers. I reckon if you put it in the comments right now, at this exact time, you probably know what it is. This is a raffle win from Supply that I had hoped for and mentioned in a previous video. Insert that here. And the raffles announced for it, I was like, these could be a consolation prize if I don't win the Pollens, which the Pollens were a consolation prize if I don't win the Travis joints. So in a roundabout way, I don't know, man, I really want them Pollen joints, you know. Big Wu-Tang fan, the yellow and black. I just think that'd be amazing. There's a couple more raffles this week, so we'll see what we can do. And yeah, the box has honestly had the shit kicked out of it. Like, if I'm being real, the box has had the shit kicked out of it. It honestly feels like the postie knew what it was filthy that they never win raffles, but still needed to do their job to some degree. But they beat the fuck out of this. I'm not even gonna bother with the knife because I feel like I can tear it just like that. Let's see. Just throwing shit everywhere, man. These are crazy. I've got to admit, the quality on the leather isn't as nice as, say, a lot of my other Jordan 1 highs, but, you know, I'm not mad at these at all. They're called the Pollens, but these are the Wu-Tang joints for me. I mean, the Dunks have always been something that I wanted for years and years. Super rare, right? The story goes, someone went behind, or went with Nike, or someone with Nike and someone with the label got them done. Last minute, they're either not approved 100%, or they, you know, did it on the sly and they had the Wu-Tang logo on them, right? Sold for crazy amounts if you can get them. If you got that money, go for it, but I'm not. For me, a Jordan 1 high is actually a better option. I prefer Jordan 1 highs to a Dunk high. Maybe I'll get the little Wu-Tang logo on the side, we'll see. I don't know. Man, these These are crazy. The only thing that's throwing me, right, like the colorway's dope, obviously yellow, black and yellow, I'm not mad at. The thing that I don't like so much is the leather quality around here, here. Tumbled leather here, which is nice and soft, but I don't know, I feel like for such a talked about Jordan, and it has been, everyone's calling them the Wu-Tang Jordan 1s, you think they'd go a little bit more on it. Like even the pine green joints that come back, people were saying how the leather quality wasn't as good in them, but the leather quality is better than this. Let's shoot some B-roll, maybe put them straight to feet, and maybe sit them alongside with the lows. You know, we had to take it all the way back to the original set with my bookcase, had to lay out the records, pull out all the shit. And to be fair, like, I could have gone even further. I could have got t-shirts out, I could have got, you know, it is what it is, like massive Wu fan. So to get these, I mentioned them that I needed these, and somehow I got a raffle win. But if I'm being honest, they were a super easy cop, and I'm now seeing like resellers doing the retail assist, where, you know, they were trying to sell them for 300, didn't work, 280 didn't work, now they're selling them for 230, and that's like I'm seeing from kid sizes all the way up to my size. So if you want a pair, plenty about. I would assume that if they've come from like a raffle based, like a boutique joint, chances are they're not going to return them. So they're going to try and, you know, get them off on the low, get them in, get them out. So hit them up. What I like to do in that situation is lowball the fuck out of them. It's up to you. But what do you guys think? Is it something that you've been checking for? What's curious to me is like the lows are called like a university gold, whereas these are called pollen. I feel like the pollen thing, yes, pollen is yellow, we associate pollen with the color yellow, but you know, what do bees go after? They go for that pollen, so it's that killer bees type shit. But it's interesting that they didn't try to tie the lows in, even though the lows come out quite a bit earlier, they sat for ages. Now these, and don't get me wrong, black and yellow isn't the easiest colorway put something together with, right? The reason why you're not seeing any footage of me wearing them is because I feel like if I'm gonna break them out, I'm gonna break them out for something special. You know what? I'm not gonna get those yellow soles dirty just by putting them on here and lacing them up, and I can't be bothered lacing them up right now. But what do you guys think? The pollen Air Jordan 1 highs, are they something you're checking for? Maybe you now, with this information I've given you, you're gonna hit up these resellers and lowball them. Let us know in the comments down below. Like, share, all that good stuff. Peace.